All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to what actually could be our final match of the day, evening, or afternoon, depending on, of course, where you are viewing us from. This is it, guys. This is going to be Astralis versus FaZe, and if Astralis take this one, then they will be getting the European invite for ESL One New York, starting in next month. And once again, that's going to be October 1st to the 2nd with a $250,000 prize pool. In a big old arena, the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. So you guys don't want to miss it. If you're in the area, be sure to head over to ESL One's website to be able to buy tickets and whatnot to get more information on the event. But into the pistol round we shall go, and we will be seeing Astralis start things off with actually some pretty aggressive movement on their own part here, pushing all the way over here to the ramp area. We're going to see them moving in. No kills just as of yet, but thankfully this aggressive position nets them a 1-for-1. Kerrigan picking up an additional kill back over here by Ivy where things get rough, and Caribby just with a one-tap. Nicely done from him. Looking for more on the closeout here. Jacob and Alu are the only two left still standing here, but not for very long indeed. They just wreck it. Astralis pick up that pistol, and they are well on their way to New York. And so with that now, we will see how exactly Astralis will continue forward on this one. FaZe looking to try and counter this one out. So they didn't even get close to the plant. They're just gonna go directly for the second round buy up here for most of their guys. Rain and Alu saving just a little bit more, but overall here it's gonna be a pretty direct play, as we can see. Coming in from Ivy, smoke covers off a couple of their players too, but Kerrigan knows it's on the way. He picks up 2 kills before going down, but he did great damage before finally being eliminated, so they've got no problem pushing back in here. And Kirby, nicely done on the team play there with him and Device. Avoids that second death. They move in there. Device survives with 6 HP, and they are able to close out the second round because of that one. So FaZe unfortunately not finding the impact that they may have been looking for, and well, they get themselves into the trash round where, again, we're just going to see those upgraded pistols. No armor behind it on anybody this time either, as they do now need to save for that first gun round. And Astralis, of course, know this, so still sitting on the SMGs to stack up all of that sweet cash they can use to build their economy very early on the CT side. Very, very important factor, of course. But FaZe is not going to give them any time to wait at all. That nade lurching it on top, and it just did so much damage. AZ, Rain, Jacob, and Alu all essentially dead in just a few bullets themselves, and they don't get anywhere at all on this round. Nicely done. Beautifully timed grenade tossed overhead. And Astralis, who's shut down these first 3 rounds like it's no problem whatsoever. They look like a well-oiled machine at this point. And now FaZe get guns in their hands. How exactly will they perform with them, of course, is the real true question, but Device picking up the op now. We still have one of those SMGs, now 2 in the hands of players from Astralis' side. But also 2 M4s going on to Dupree and Kirby, while we do see both Kerrigan and Zipix playing on the outer site to counter out with these SMGs, trying to play closer angles. The op itself is playing actually pretty well tucked up here, as you can see, to the ramp area, just inside of the inner bomb site. Waiting for a hit to come in from FaZe. He hasn't spotted anything yet, but there is going to be... Actually, I believe it was a self-flash tossed around the corner. The Device was able to dodge, but Rain kind of walked right into that. So there's the jump, and ooh, it actually looked like it hit, but Device possibly shooting just a little bit to the left there. Is not going to connect that shot. So his opponent will be able to get away, and now they know the op's present pretty deep in here, but there's no follow-up on that from FaZe. They are, however, starting to creep their players over here towards Ivy. Kerrigan, of course, is going to be tested against the push, but he's still got plenty of utility to use. Tossing out his smoke now to try and prevent them from pushing in. But ultimately, FaZe are ready to deploy this execute at any moment, so they should be going for it pretty shortly here, just in the name of time. And it'll be the A default, essentially, that they end up working their way towards here now. Even Alu getting a piece of the action, too, from the T-Con. But it's mainly going to be this Ivy push that we have to worry about. This is where things are going to pay off. Alu, though, gets a good start off, picks that first kill off of Kirby. Kerrigan sitting around the corner here. That's AZ going down. Second one. Can't follow up with the third, but he's done the damage now. Kiyoshima gets himself out into the open, and Jacob also looking to punish the bomb trade too, but he can't do it. Kiyoshima's found another kill. We see Device rolling onto the flank. Only Alu's still up and running. He's got 4 HP, so he's not going to last very long. Again, very well set up for trades from Astralis, even when players are going down. For the most part, within just a couple seconds after that, someone is there. Line up on either a flank or just able to have the intel to be able to take the next duel. At which point they can catch those trade kills, and this combined with the multi-kills we're catching, all those pushes from Ivy and whatnot, are netting Astralis some really, really good holds here right now. They're going to pick that up, and for FaZe, still not finding anything yet after that first gun round. They just go into another upgraded pistol round with Deagles mainly. A P250 on Jacob, and Allen not buying anything at all. Early Ivy pressure, but oh, it's not going to work out very well at all. Kerrigan picking up that first kill. Dupree, as you can see, just sprays down Jacob and his push outside there. Rain actually does respond to the player on Ivy, but Dupree shooting down Kiyoshima right after that, and Device with his op shot. Things are not going to last. Things are not going to stay very good for Rain for very long indeed. He got that kill, but that's probably the best thing he's managed to get. And he almost just got shot like from inside the site through that wall, it looked like. Which would have been crazy if that had hit. That bullet just looked like it was a little bit off. So thankfully for him, he doesn't just get completely wrecked from outside of the room. But still, Astralis now go up 5-0. The money's built up already. FaZe need to impact here, as otherwise Astralis are already looking very secure with their hold. We'll see how exactly FaZe decide to go towards it. Also important there too, Allen no op this time. They would have had the money to do it, most certainly, but they've chosen to take the 5 AK route instead. Really, Molotovs and whatnot, as we come to expect at this point, being tossed out, but that's a perfect nade going on to AZ there. Tossed out from Ivy. Whittles away at half of his HP. He jumps right into that. There's not a whole lot that he'll do to try and circumvent that at the moment, but if he peeks against Device, keep in mind, I don't think it's currently smoked. So Device will have free reign to try and flick on the AZ if he goes for that peek, or if anyone else tries to come to assist him. Hasn't spotted anything, though, for about a 20-second period, so he'll just go for the smoke on it instead. Now, oof, again, just missing some players in the cross here. Flipping on the wall. He's taking those shots to the back panel there, too, to see if he can grab anybody here. The Skadoodle shot, but nothing to be grabbed at that point. And the rest of FaZe will look to regroup here into the B-bomb site. Even Astralis is starting to get the read on this, however. Look at how quickly they've rotated over. They've already got a third man in the site. Device is moving closer and closer to the Z connector, just trying to make sure that there's nobody lurking in from the Z-con, or apologies, from the T-con area. And Kerrigan just sitting himself right now back over here on Ivy. He does hear the push coming down Ivy from one of these guys, but this is only going to be the beginning of a very, very big push working its way elsewhere. AZ, though, gets a perfect pop flash. It blinds Kerrigan. He can't see anything, but now the real hit's coming in, and they still have 3 in the site. Kiyoshima having to lurch over that Molotov, and all this damage done just destroys the hit from that Molotov. Dupree and Zipix grab 3. Dupree with another one, and the last man alive is that guy that worked his way on the Ivy flank there. It's all in AZ's hands, and as he pushes back out, he can't even kill Zipix down at 4 HP. He pulls off another kill, and Astralis goes 6-0. FaZe again, though, max losing bonus at this point. But despite the fact that they have lost 6 rounds straight, not a single one of these rounds has allowed them to be able to get a plant. So the money is still in an awkward spot, despite the fact that they are on that full losing bonus. A Tech 9 will be on for Rain. The rest, thankfully, can still afford AKs, but specifically looking at Kiyoshima and Jacob, they aren't really going to have any utility whatsoever. So this has to be a very direct hit, and that's exactly what we will see from them. Most players pushing out from T-Con. A couple lining up for an Ivy push, but Dupree already looking for a flank. Molotov stopping them from really pushing the E-Box too hard unless they want to take the molly damage. And Kerrigan, again, getting a little bit spooked there. Let's find a teammate. Fires his own prematurely. Ultimately, though, again, it is Astralis with full control of this one. Rain's going to push in on that flank. He does surprise at first, but now they know where he is. He just dives back into that smoke. They're doing damage onto him here as he does retreat, but as Kerrigan does close out that one there, it's going to be another one for Astralis. They continue to push forward. They continue to wreck the opposition here. FaZe will be going into a pause, a very much so needed one, as they have gone down 7-0, and they need to think of a way that they can try to counter out just the absolute monstrous CT side that we are seeing here from Astralis at the moment. And like I said again, for the most part here, I've noticed it's gotten maybe a little bit sloppier over the past couple of rounds. But for the most part, Astralis, even when they don't get the best start to a situation, they're, first of all, always getting the reads as to where these hits are coming from, because FaZe aren't really doing anything that complex. These are very, very simplistic strats. And not only this, too, but when Astralis does get that read, because they get into the site and they're kind of prepared for the hits so quickly, they are able to get into good trade positions. So when one guy goes down, there's another one there, and 9 times out of 10 it is available to just catch the trade almost immediately. And all you really need to do from that point forward is find 1 or 2 of your guys to catch a multi-kill. And then you have the round secured, so long as you have that kind of domino effect set up. Even if your guys do start to collapse one by one. This round, however, from FaZe is going to be an eco regardless. Like I said before, without finding those plants, the money situation, even though they're on full losing bonus, is going to be really weird. So they do have to go back down. This will be the only one, though. Most of the guys that were really low buying out to around the 2K margin, so they're going to have no trouble just reinvesting after this one with like the huge amount that they will get, considering the losing bonus stack at this point. But Astralis wrecking FaZe, and I mean, we're seeing, again, like I said on the last map too, it's the usual suspects showing up to the table. Device obviously performing very well. Kerrigan, based on the way that he was playing at the end of that last map, we expected his performance to carry over, and it certainly has. And for Dupree too, he had a great first map there. We're seeing it once again from him. As FaZe now try to fight themselves outside. They've got 4 smokes to try and execute here. With these pistols is where it's going to get hard to really make anything too complex out of this. It does appear, though, is that they are preparing to throw them all into the outer site once more. And the bomb is prepped to drop in from the ladder room so that they can go for an execute right here. But holding back, avoiding that Ivy push in the event that Astralis do decide to go for it, knowing at this point that they will be on an eco. But Astralis is so calm right now, not moving a muscle across the map. They still have that full 2 committed into B, but now that the smokes are moving in, they're going to very quickly wrap back over here. The T-Con push moving in from FaZe, though, and with that smoke setup, it will allow them to get free control. At the very least, they may be able to find a plant here, but look, they're all stuck. I think there's a Molotov in T-Con, and yep, there was. Jacob's able to move up. He's at 33 HP, but Kiyoshima finds that kill on Kirby. They finally get the bomb down, but a nade bounces out, catches Jacob on a trade. Now Kerrigan hoping for more too, as the smokes do start to fade away. They can see more. Device impacting finally with his op here. They push back up. The E-Box peek from Kiyoshima just destroys him. And now the only few that are left are going to be pushing in from Ivy and E-Box. One of them's already been found, the Device. Unfortunately for Alu, Device just gets the final shot that rolled right into his crosshairs there. And Astralis will still be undefeated. 8-0, but coming off of that eco. This is hopefully where we see what FaZe took the pause for. This is hopefully something new, something maybe a little bit more complex from FaZe in terms of a strat that they can use to get something up on the board. And obviously that extra money going to help them out to a big degree too, of being able to get a plant for the first time in this match. As we open up the map and take a look at where exactly FaZe are going to be moving towards. It's actually very fast again outside. Alu is the one that starts it off here, but he misses the op shot, and that's going to be his key to get the heck out of there. These players could very easily be finding him, flanking him out, especially without having any, really having any good ladder room pressure to be able to push out and counter-react that. So definitely would be a bit too risky for Alu to stay out there after missing that initial shot. Rain's also been hit down pretty low here too, to 39 HP already, as he has dropped down into the ladder room. He's peeked out there. It's just been hit by a nade on the ground, so not the best start for him either. And the guys on the B bomb site, well, they're starting to get a bit antsy, as we can see Dupree pushing up. He's expecting a little bit of a bigger hit in this direction. I think they'll start to molly that back off too. Good reason too. The smoke was just thrown out, so the timing on everything from Astralis is great, but now they've got to wait for the actual hit. And there's Alu again, missing an opportunity to take down Device. He just throws in a nade and drops back down. So before FaZe have even really peeked their heads out yet, we have seen so much damage done, and Kerrigan getting himself into a bit of an awkward battle with AZ, as you saw them kind of dancing past each other a moment ago, but it still does net in the favor of Astralis. Device shutting out Alu here. That takes him down. Kiyoshima finally moving in there to pick up at least 1 kill against Device. And with this more passive style from Astralis we're seeing in this round, it does allow them to get the plant, but still shutting it down. Kiyoshima, though, is still lurking on these flanks. He's doing massive damage. Ultimately, though, he cannot carry the team on his back, so he's going to need some assistance with that. And without anyone else on the team really grabbing any kills, it's going to be another round for Astralis off of Kerrigan mainly, who picks up 3 big ones. 3 kills for him, and they should have plenty of time to defuse this bomb. Pause. Still not really doing anything, unfortunately, for FaZe. Who am I talking about? FaZe. Excuse me, guys. Starting to drift at this point. Very much looking forward to taking a lengthy nap after this map. So, with Astralis sitting at 9-0, I mean, the obvious circumstance of this, too, is that the money is just completely out of control for Astralis at this point. They're winning gun rounds after gun rounds after gun rounds. Even though they are letting FaZe get the plant now, they still have not been having any trouble. It's when they start losing, or even if they start losing rounds, they're obviously going to have 3 or 4 possible full buyouts before they're even out of cash. And considering that, they are, by the time they even, run out of cash, the problem is they're going to be almost at full losing bonus anyway. So we're looking at most 1 like half eco round or mid buy, and then immediately after that, they're auto full buy again. So, and considering there's only a few rounds left in the half here, in theory, FaZe are basically going to be going up against more than likely a fully armed or pretty damn close to it Astralis for the entire rest of this half because of the situation that they built up here. So early plays again, or I should say early plays again from FaZe as they try to push AZ up over there and using a bit of his utility too just to try and make sure that there's no push from Astralis. But the thing is, Astralis really haven't been pushing out that much. That was only really happening in the eco rounds, or the anti-eco rounds, and they haven't decided to push anybody out there really since then. They've got 2 players stacked on it now as Device and Kerrigan are watching it, but it's going to be another smoke execute from FaZe to just cover up the entire site. And everybody else pushing in through the T connector. The off shot from Device is going to ring out, but he won't be able to find anything this early on with all that coverage moving into the site. And the same thing here for Jake. I'm watching to make sure nobody flanks around the corner. Players moving in from Z right now, but nobody finding anyone here. They just bring Rain down really low when he went for the plant on the bomb. They couldn't actually kill him, however. So he still keeps himself alive here. AZ finally peeking out there, but it's going to be Kerrigan that grabs the kill. Clearing out Ivy. Still slow from Astralis. But here they go. The Molotovs to burn these guys out of position. They're throwing a little bit too far, actually. So with that, they're going to toss the smoke over on top of the bomb. But Kirby spots Kiyoshima. He's overpeaked. And this Dupree moving in. Device with a third. Rain responds, but he's at 20 HP. And after that, he's going to go down. And it's another nearly flawless retake from Astralis. I don't know what FaZe are doing right now, but they just cannot hold in the post plant. It's even at a certain point here where, with these smoke setups, Astralis are just giving them the plant. It's just they can't find secure positions. And even when they did, like in that last round, this was very, very passive from Astralis. They still are able to push right back in to catch all their kills without really any repercussions whatsoever. FaZe buying again, of course, but I mean, this is a hollow point now. It's going to be another push, but this time it's finally away from the A side. We've only got one guy really pushing outside. The rest are heading their way over there towards, either towards the inner site or standing themselves on top of the ladder room. But also this time with Rain pushing his way out so quickly, he does get the first kill against Kirby. And he finds another hole in the smoke to catch a second one. So maybe this is finally the time for FaZe to pick something up here. AZ's going to sneak back in too. Try and see if they can clear this site back out and be able to find the plant. But Astralis have already rotated 2 of their guys back inside of the B bomb site, which is the trap. Now they're back outside, and AZ looking for another kill. He's going to get it against Kerrigan. The final 2 are boxed out here, and a Molotov is going to make things even worse, too. Just delaying the time a bit. Not even sure if Astralis is going to go for this, but they can easily afford to get in a more aggressive position to try, at the very least, look for those exits. They're rich as hell right now. They got no reason to worry about monetary problems and being able to rebuy into these next rounds. So Zipic's peeking out. They've got 2 kills, and now it's a 2-on-3. Somewhat decent time to play with still if they want to do this as well, but they're focusing on Jacob, who's wrapped around the corner there, and they're trying to flank him, but it's actually Jacob that wins the race. And now Device gets the finishing kill, and he's on the run here now on the 1v2. He knows he doesn't have enough time to get back into that site. So it is finally, guys, the FaZe fans out there, you can stop, you can stop the nervous breathing and whatnot. They are going to be able to finally pick something up while you're hyperventilating about all the panicking. It's like, what the hell's happening? They're falling apart, man. It's been 3 types of FaZe that we've seen tonight. This is going back to the type of FaZe we saw in their first map versus Godsent, where things just look like a bit of a mess, to be completely honest here. But finally, they put a round onto the board here. And for Astralis, of course, they reinvest with even bigger force, to be completely honest. Not only do we have Device sitting on the op now, but Kerrigan is also going to pick one up. They're just going to go up to a double op setup here. And with that rebuy, again, like I mentioned before, it's still leave these guys with a crap ton of money. 1, if not 2 full rebuys for basically every single player here. And out goes Kerrigan. Quick flick on to AZ. There's even counter-reactive flash, but no one from FaZe is able to grab it, although Device burns himself there. Trying to push himself to the back of upper. Don't know how exactly that ended up panning out, but he does end up losing his life. And now Dupree, there's no one watching the ladder push. If he goes up right now, that's Jacob pretty much alone in that position to be able to punish it. So it is evenly traded down to a 4v4. And Kirby as well is going to start to push a bit closer to the T-Con to try and punish this hit, which FaZe has become so fond of. And oh, good timing on the flashbang there. It does actually push Dupree back, but Dupree looks away when Jacob drops down. Kirby finding another kill, but Rain on top of the initial blue train here finds not 1 but 2 kills. Looking for another one in the back as Zipix responds. Zipix is now alone though. He's going to push back out, but he's flashed by himself. And that's going to kill him. Jacob takes him down in a second round for FaZe on the board. That op also gets recovered, I do believe, by FaZe at the end of that one. So they do get that for free in the hands. Another rebuy for Astralis. They're just buying through things here. They will start to run out of cash, however, though. Zipix is going to be the first one, but everybody else still has enough for one more on the 3rd round losing bonus that they would be getting after this one. Device again here as well. He's going to look for an early shot, but the moment FaZe are able to get away from that one pretty much scot-free. to line up their positions. It's that same type of default that they've been running here, and that we're kind of used to seeing across pretty much all teams that are playing on this map. The two pushing in T-Con, the two pushing in over there towards the ladder rim, and then either the one or two, depending on the way you want to play it, in towards Ivy. There's a lot of defense pushed on the Ivy, though, so this is where AZ may have a lot of trouble just getting into the site alone. Device can spin around very quickly and watch for the push, but now they've tossed nades and whatnot into the site. They're going to try to convince AZ to stay out here for a little bit longer, and Kerrigan even moving into it, too, to try and see if he can grab a player close up, but still no execute. FaZe are taking their time. They're going to move the bomb back, but possibly to deploy a nade here, as they are sort of priming up for it now. Jacob's downstairs, but they're waiting up the CT's grenades, and now they are finally ready to push back out. Molotov from the team side is actually going to be wasted here, and AZ pushing up. Kerrigan, are you ready for this close-up encounter? Because you've got a nade out right now, and that smoke's going to fade in any second here. He's ready to go for it, though. Double flashes. No one wants to peek that now, as more than likely both of them did just completely avoid it. But Kiyoshima moving in. There's Device going down, eliminating him. Kerrigan wins the battle at Ivy at the very least, but the site control is definitely 100% in the control of FaZe. Not only this, but they got aggressive, pushing out towards Ivy and as well into Z, where we saw Kiyoshima get that kill on a Kerrigan and a second one. Finally, FaZe, they found their kind of victory point here. They found a strat that at the very least works for them. Just a very slow version of the default that they've been running, kind of creeping into the site and leeching control away from Astralis. And it has allowed them to pick up, I believe this is 3 rounds running now. Yeah, correct. So they are going to pick up 10-3. Still a long road to recovery, of course, but they have to make sure that Astralis don't strike back anytime soon and kind of kill all this hard work that they put into finding a strat that finally works. Not only this, too, but the CT side is going to be a whole new ballgame for them. You know, if we're not seeing any impact from Alu at the moment, and if we haven't really seen any impact from Alu, at least in a very big way comparatively on that last map, then I am a little bit scared to see what will end up happening with him on the CT side. If he can't perform with the op, we've already seen how quintessential the op has been for Astralis here on the CT side. So if he's not going to be able to perform with that, then that could prove pretty detrimental. On this map specifically, look at him, I'm sitting at 1-10 right now. So we haven't really been able to see all that much from Alu. Good news is for FaZe that they are kind of just on the brink now, finally breaking Astralis. The bad news is, like I mentioned previously, the losing weapons is stacked up, but they're going to go right forward, kicking up the heat. They get the player on Ivy first off. The smokes will not get control, but I think Astralis wants to fight back at this now. We've got both Kirby and Dupree pushing out to fight this. They find a 1-for-1, and Dupree holding his own. He doesn't catch the player pushing out from ladder room, and that's going to be his doom. Out with another kill, finding a second as he pushes forward there too on Ivy, and it leaves this Device alive, but he's sneaking in there, hasn't found the kill as he wraps back out. We are going to see Rain finishing him off and giving FaZe their 4th round now. As we get into the final one, Astralis, their last buy, but as we've seen, it's still whittling down on that losing bonus, and even for that last buy, they are able to get everything for the most part that they would want. Zipex will have to play with a shotgun, but that's not a big deal. You can just play that in a close-up area and be able to perform quite well with that. Again, this direct play has worked for them before. They're going to continue to do it. They may be getting used to it, though, as this is getting very repetitive now. It's a 2-for-1 in the favor of Astralis to start things out. Kirby lurks his way out there, picks up the second kill. Alu trying to hunt down players that are moving in for this lurk, but they're not going to spot Kirby. He's moving in on the left of these guys right now. Smoke's in the way, but not for long. It shuts him down, and another one. Astralis, the Danes, go 11-4 on FaZe. I believe it was 10 rounds straight before we did see 4 picked up from FaZe. And finally, that last one is stolen back by Astralis to pick it up. So all they need now is those 5 rounds, and they will qualify for the trip to New York. For ESL One New York, and the chance at $250,000 of prize pooling. We'll see, of course, if they can do it. If FaZe bounces back, then, well, we got a whole other map, and yeah. So the second half should be going live momentarily, guys. Just a few seconds here. It didn't look like the teams needed much time to be able to strategize and whatnot in between the halves, so not expecting all that much of a wait, and then we can jump right into it and see just who is going to take the second half, and overall who is going to be possibly our qualified team from Europe. Astralis with a hard-fought battle, FaZe with an even possibly harder-fought battle there too, having to take down Godsend, and also with the way that they were just destroyed by Godsend in their first match. You would have think they would have been demoralized, but no, it's almost the exact opposite. Godsend themselves on this map on Train turned into just a complete mess, and FaZe capitalized that on a big way. They're able to take the second map, and following that up, they took the third map, Control 2, and moved on to take on Mouse Sports with a 2-0. That was one of our only 2-0s we did have. Might have been a couple couple more in the quarterfinals, but the semifinals, of course, that being the only 2-0 there. And now, of course, here in the grand finals, they have the possibility to lose 0-2 against Astralis here and crown them as the qualified team for Europe, finalizing the roster for the region. It's going to be heading to the LAN, and of course, still have that one open slot for the North American teams. But Astralis, it's a big train for them. Heading directly into the site. There's 2 players waiting for them, though, down at the bottom of the ramp, but they're doing great damage. Kiyoshima at 22 HP. That's a perfect nade. Tossed back out from Kiyo, though. Look at how much damage that's done. Kirby, Device, Dupree, all lit up. And these pistols can punish them in a big way now if they push back in. They're going to move in. He gets a bit of an angle to hit on Dupree, but he realizes it yet. Kirby moving out. He grabs 2 kills and Dupree combos for a 3rd. Jacob holding behind the train stopper, at least gets 2 to respond to it. But now they've only got 2 left up rolling for FaZe, and they've got this flank to worry about from Kerrigan, which he hasn't even done anything yet. They're hunting for him here. Alu trying to find him in the smoke. Kerrigan doing that damage, though. And as Jacob moves up to the site, he cannot connect any shots. He's down to 20 HP now. So much time being wasted. Finally, Jacob gets the frag, but Kerrigan responds from the back of the site. And Alu, well, he's got a 10-second defuse, so he needs to jump on it right now. The time has already passed. It's going to be Astralis that win the second half pistol, and they will be, again, that much closer to their spot in New York. We'll see what FaZe can respond to try and stop this, as it's just going to be upgraded pistols. They're saving big time here on this round. The only player that's even bought armor on this force is going to be Jacob, so for the most part, it's just going to be that upgraded pistol round. And FaZe, at the moment, expect it all to come out on the A-bomb site. Astralis is focusing very heavily on the SMGs to stack up cash, too. 4 UMPs, and only Kirby buying up an AK. But they're not even, at the moment, really heading into that A-bomb site, more than likely, with the bomb being traced all the way out into the inner site. They've only got Kiyoshima to watch out for that, and Kerrigan's still going to make a mess over here on the outside site anyway. They push in, they box Kiyoshima back out into Z, and they molly it off. It's a containment field, and at the moment, nobody from FaZe is getting through it. Kerrigan even catching that flank player around him. Kerrigan with a possible ace sitting in front of him too, and look at him, he grabs it. Is tapping away on these guys on the site. He shuts it all down, gets the nice ace against FaZe on their bought up pistol round, and that will give them the 13th. FaZe at this point, man, I don't even know. They just look like a mess at this point. They might have lost their kind of will. We'll have to see, obviously, but they'll have that one gun round, and that may prove to be all that they have to try and turn this back on its heel. I see again, too, FaZe wasting no time, going for their push out towards the outside site here. A good nade actually tossed into Kerrigan, bringing him down to just a single health point. Did a free really to keep him alive, but still 3 kills for them. Kiyoshima and AZ are the final 2. Still haven't seen a loss of Kerrigan. Well, it looks like he's actually going to survive this encounter, and they've just spotted where Kiyoshima is playing from. So he's going to be backing up in Z, wanting to play a corner where hopefully he has a bit more of an advantage. And now starts to wrap in, but he has been cornered by everybody on Astralis. There's no escape from this position, and indeed they move in. Almost a team ace there, too. Kerrigan had been able to grab one, we would have had it, but 1 HP, obviously. We can understand that decision for him to sit back and want to keep his gun in play. Thing is, though, is now, again, you're on that gun round. Do you really want to keep these guns, or do you just want to go right forward and upgrade here? Looks like Zipix is going to be changing his out to an AK. Same for Kerrigan. All of them, for the most part. One of them does get tossed back over to Kirby as he trades his AK over to Device, but beyond that, all their SMGs get ditched, and they go right up to the AKs here. They want to crush this now. They don't want to get past that awkward round where you basically just kind of see what kind of damage you can do, and obviously if you can win the round with those SMGs still in hand. The only team that's been able to do that tonight, as far as I can remember, was FaZe when they had that 5 SMG round versus 5 AK round. But now again, nades rolling in from the CT side as Kiyoshima puts himself on top of the initial train out behind ramp here to punish Astralis when they go for a push here. It still hasn't been decided, but it is definitely leaning in towards hitting this site. 3 down the ramp, the ladder room would be a bit of a risky play, especially if they don't have proper smokes and whatnot set up here. They're still going to do it, but they're primed to execute now on the B-bomb site as the bomb gets deeper and deeper into the box halls there. Kiyoshima becomes your point man. You do have Alu watching a little bit further back here, but he's watching for that upper hit. They will start to execute it, and look at this. Alu just being drawled away like a moth to a flame there. Gets pushed out of the site, although 2 quick kills from FaZe. Kiyo doing a great job of holding this back out. In fact, this all brought down to Zipnix all of a sudden. He's going to pull off an ace if he wants this round. Trying to go for the fake plant there, and he gets it. Gets 1 kill, but Alu's there for the trade. And FaZe will pick up the first gun round here. keeping some semblance of hope alive. They've got 9 more rounds to go to tie this. And obviously, still 11 straight to win this one out here against Astralis. And prevent them from really taking their seed here at ESL One New York. But after that one, of course, even with Astralis having to upgrade a few of those guns in the last round, it appears as though they still had plenty of cash to buy again. So they're going to resort to some Ivy pressure early on in the round, but Device's attempt to jump across has failed miserably. AZ gets a nice shot into him while he's midair, but the pre finds the entry on B, and that's what they want. Now they have control of here. There's going to be fast rotations moving in from FaZe. Player on Ivy actually backs away too. Instead of kind of acting as a late rotator to push in and punish those guys, he's just going to move through the white halls and try to punish these players and by supporting his own teammates here. But good utility control overall from Astralis. They've got them boxed up for a while. And look at Zipic's going to walk right up on AZ, punish him before he can do anything. He is in a bit of an awkward spot though now. He's going to back out towards CT spawn, but the CTs themselves move in there. They punish Kerrigan, stop him from doing any more damage. But now Luke is waiting for them on the other side. It's Dupree, Rain, and Jacob both get wrecked. Zipic's also waiting for this push from Alu. And there you go, Astralis reset FaZe. They get up to 15 rounds, and they are 1 away as FaZe have to go for what is probably going to be a pretty pitiful force buy. Astralis are now 1 away from that slot, from qualification, and from winning this 8-team little mini event we've run here today. And we will see, of course. It all comes down to this. What type of strat are Astralis going to go for? They've even got the double op set up too. Kerrigan and Device rolling with that now. Most of them are just going to go into the white halls again, and well, yeah. Anticlimactic, unfortunately. Really, that does need to get fixed. That's really dumb. 'Cause I'll be honest with you, there's no way to even play that off. It's very obvious. So, yeah. I'll still be in the mood of things, but yeah, I think people who know what that means know what just happened. Anyway, Astralis at the moment still keeping the bomb outside, so I think this is going to be the fake interplay since they've been favoring these interplays for the past couple of rounds. Unless the bomb starts to head up through white halls here pretty shortly, more than likely they're going to be throwing smokes and whatnot inside of the B-bomb site, but then just setting the number 9 and 6 players, which will be Zipics and Device, round over here. And yeah, this is definitely going to help out the case too. Kerrigan shutting down AZ. They've started to pull the guys back too. Dupree is no longer sitting himself on top of the room there, but actually the bomb is starting to move itself through the halls, but I don't think this is a permanent change. Still believing, at the very least, this is going to be a fake down on the B-bomb site, if not just outright. Trying to throw smokes in and whatnot to end it there quickly. Well, Rain does get a quick kill out towards Ivy there. It is another trade, and look at Device just dropping down, shutting it all out. It falls into Kiyoshiman. All he's got to work with is a scout. He's been mollied out. They've already found him. He's at 67 HP, trying to peek this down at 7 now. Tags one of them, but that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, it is going to be Astralis taking things 2-0. They are going to qualify for ESL One New York. And we'll get the last and final slot for Europe. And all that means now, all that's left to decide is our North American slot, guys. Congratulations indeed to Astralis. Throughout the course of the next week or so, we are going to be running the North American qualifiers consisting of C9, CLG, Echo Fox, TSM, Optic, Energy, Complexity, and the Immortals. Only one of them will get the A slot at ESL One New York, so you'll want to keep your eyes on our website and whatnot, and as well as on ESL social media. That's at ESLCS. And over on Facebook.com/ESLCS for more information on where you can catch those games and obviously where you can find that. And of course, where you can get tickets to ESL One New York. Once again, one final reminder, on the 1st and the 2nd of October at the Barclays Center, we got a $250K prize pool. Some of the best teams in the world participating there. Had an awesome time at the last big LAN in North America, guys. So you definitely want to go to this one and be sure to show up. That is it for me, though. I am very tired. I need to sleep. I'm going to call it a night, guys. So thank you all very much. And we'll see you next time here on the ESL Twitch channel.